What's up, LDBC? It's your boy, Mr. Universal Sports, coming live from my undisclosed location in the Southern California. Hey, you know how we do it. Well, I'm about to upload this YouTube video before and give my boxing commentary before I go to work tonight. So I'm about to cover that Andre Berto versus Showtime Shawn Porter fight. But first, let's talk about that Jermell Charlo versus Charles Hartley fight. And I scored the Charlo fight at the time of the stoppage. I had Charlo in all the rounds. And they stopped the fight in the 6th round. Well, he knocked him out in the 6th round mercifully. And what's next for Charlo? Charlo was very impressive out there. I liked how he worked his jab and stayed poised out there. And he took care of business, defeating his mandatory Charles Hatley, or whatever you say his name. Obviously, they're talking about the fighting the IBF champion, the new IBF champion, Jarrett Hurd. That should be a good fight. And when I was looking at the 154-pound weight division, obviously Canelo Alvarez, I shouldn't say his name, but he's the WBO champion, and the WBA champion at 154 pounds is Erislandy Lara. And let's try to get the unification bouts. Let's clean this up at 154, but most likely it looks like it will be Jermell Charlo versus Jarrett Hurd next for unification belt of the WBC and IBF titles. So that's in the right direction. But let's talk about the main event, folks, and that's the Shawn Porter versus Andre Berto fight. Now, I had this fight. I scored it 79-72 at the time of the stoppage. Not Andre Berto, but Shawn Porter is the winner by technical knockout, and I thought it was a good stoppage, folks. I mean, what's next for Berto? I mean, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I think Andre Berto is just a placeholder or a gatekeeper at this point for young prospects. But I really think he should retire or take a long break and check his options for the future. Well, Shawn Porter, the sky's the limit for this young man, because I'm going to get into Keith Thurman in a minute, or in the 147-pound division, welterweight, in a minute. But Shawn Porter secured his rematch with Keith Thurman. We don't know if it's going to happen in November, because earlier in the broadcast, Thurman did say that he wants to fight again in November, take a little break. Obviously, after unifying the titles against Danny Garcia, he is the champion at the WBA and the WBC. So many weight classes, I lose track of the belt holder sometimes. But let's unify. Obviously, next month at 147, we have Kell Brook versus Errol Spence. Then another champion at the WBO is Manny Pacquiao, but I don't think he's trying to fight these young lions, but we'll see how that goes. But Keith Thurman actually has 2 mandatories. One for the WBA title, which is Lamont Peterson, and one for the WBC, which is Shawn Porter. Now, it looks like he's going to take care of his obligations so he can keep both titles, which is a good thing. I like the Peterson fight, and I like the Porter fight. I mean, the Porter fight was a Fight of the Year candidate last year, so that's pretty good. I mean, we may not see Keith Thurman, if he's victorious in those 2 fights, fight the winner of the Kell Brook Errol Spence fight until maybe next year, late next year possibly, which gives it time to build up. But I like the way another fight I like to see Shawn Porter fight, and I'm just bringing it up, is the man missing at 147 pounds, Timothy Bradley. Where the hell is Timothy Bradley? I mean, he's MIA. I know he was taking care of business, helped coach his son's high school football team, but I'd like to see where's Bradley again. And I'm good. Obviously, this is we were watching the free fight on Showtime instead of the pay-per-view fight that Top Rank held earlier on the same day. I don't know why they held boxing matches. The 2 rival companies hold boxing matches the same day, but I digress. But I didn't support that one. Free boxing for all, PBC. Anyway, tell me what you guys thought about the Berto Porter fight. What do you think is next for Shawn Porter? What do you think is next for Andre Berto? Do you think Berto should retire? Comment, rate, subscribe. It's your boy, Mr. Universal Sports. I got to go to work, and I'm out. Peace. Have a good night.